Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It's a nice sunny day over here. The Celtics were on at 7, so I decided to come on a little bit early today because I haven't been able to catch a game yet because they're always on at 7. Every other team gets to play at a different time every day, but the Celtics are always on at 7 o'clock, right when we're live, every single day. What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. What's going on, Frank Fractal? What's going on, man? I'm sure you're loving Cadena right now, my man. Tony, he said, Miami Heat are up 2-1. Let's freaking go. Tony, if you're a fan of the Miami Heat, keep it going, man, because I want to play the Heat instead of the Bucks. So if you guys can beat the Bucks for the Celtics, that would be great. That would be absolutely great. So please, keep kicking the Bucks' ass, man. Please, I'd rather play you than the freaking Milwaukee, bro. Let's freaking go. Fahid, what's going on, man? Who we got in here? Nola, what's going on? Happy Sunday, man. Max, what's going on? Yeah, the early bird gets the worm. Or in this point, the early bird gets to watch the Celtics game. You know what I mean? So sometimes we do that. Brian says, is this just the dump before the pump before another dump? Bro, it's a short-term time frames. It's a freaking guessing game right now, man. I see everyone changing their mind every damn day. It's a guessing game right now. But, you know, today we'll talk about some of the bigger time frames and how Bitcoin's kind of just back in no man's land at the moment. And you know, it's one of those things you got to zoom out in times like this and sort of just look at where you are. And, you know, on the weekly, we're kind of just in no man's land, man. Short-term time frames, who knows, man? We could pump, we could dump. We'll talk about it a little bit here. But, man, let's freaking get busy. We got another week coming up. I'm pumped for the stock market at opening. I'm pumped for the DXY opening back up to see if that dumps. I'm pumped for this week, man. You know, just to get kind of see where we end up, because right now there's a lot of fight between the Bears and the Bulls. You don't really know what's going down coming up right here. Jordan eats the worm. I wouldn't eat him. I would actually eat a worm. You know, everyone says that worms disgust them. I actually out of all the things that would be disgusting to me, I don't think eating a worm would actually be too bad. For some reason, right? I feel like if as long as you cook the worm on a nice little pot, you kind of cooked it up a little bit, I would eat the worm. I would definitely eat the freaking worm. Now, you give me a cow brain or you give me a cow testicle, I'll pass on that. But I'd eat a worm all day. Hell, who wouldn't eat a worm? I would eat a worm. Brian said Savvy could still be right. Savvy, I mean, it's all depends on time frame, man. If you're going to be bearish for 2 years and you're right 2 years later, are you really right? I would argue no, but it is what it is. Anderson said batter and deep fry it makes anything good. Facts, man, facts. I would eat a deep fried worm, 110%. Jello said finally time to watch the live and not when I wake up. Let's go, man. All right, anyways, let's see where we're at, guys. So Bitcoin. Short-term time frames. Let's start on the short-term time frames. Then we'll wake our way up to like the weekly and the monthly, which I think are more important right now. I think these short-term time frames are just kind of like, whatever, man. I could honestly see this going both ways. It's one of those times where it's not very clear. I could see the short-term time frames going either way here, right? Up, down, whatever. I guess I'll say this, right? The 1 hour time frame, it's one of those things. It's doing one of those things that's going to trick us, right? It's been doing this the whole way down, where it's trying to form a little bit of a W formation, but then it just keeps dumping. It seems to have been the move for the last week, guys. It's like every single time, right? Horse guy's like, wow, I learned how to use a W formation. It looked like Bitcoin is making a W formation. Jordan says when W, that means we gonna go up. So, I will long here. What is the worst thing that could possibly happen? What is the worst thing that could possibly happen to us here? It is CC we're in the market again. Is Sam Bankman-Fried? This is ridiculous. It's one of those markets right now, right? We form some type of W pattern and then we just keep freaking going down at this point, guys. But I guess short term, I'll say short term. We're in a very interesting spot, right? We just go to the daily real quick. You guys can see that we are at that 50 EMA now. We've been here before, and I'll show you guys where we were here last time, but we're sitting right at that 50 EMA, trying to paint some type of, W or some type of reversal pattern to at least get us slightly back up, right? Because here's the thing, how likely is it that Bitcoin's just going to dump, right, in a straight line from 31K, let's bring this up here, from 31K, all the way down to 25K with no bounce. How likely is that? Certainly could happen, and we've seen crazier things before. But I think somewhere in this region, you do get a retrace back up, right? So, is this the point right here where we see a little bit of a retrace? Definitely could be, right? And if we did get a retrace, I'd look at like 28.5 or something like that. If there's enough bulls to push it that high. But, I would think if there's ever a time to get a little bounce, hey, right now would be a good time to get a little bounce. Right before maybe another leg down later on, but the charts have been wacky. It's the weekend, and I don't trust the weekend price action. I don't trust this right here because it's Sunday, and I've seen Sunday do some shady shit to Bitcoin in the past, my friend. So we got a little bit of we made our first low right here. Now we're making a little bit of a falling wedge, right? If you just go by the closes, I know wicks are cutting through, but this should just be by the closes of the candles. We're forming a little bit of a falling wedge on the second leg down. These do break up 69% of the time. Just understand that it's Sunday, and Sunday can get a little crazy out in this bitch, So, the way I look at it is this. We're at the 50 EMA. We got a little bit of a falling wedge on the 50 EMA in the daily, right? So, I don't know, man. You got to see that bigger sort of short squeeze to the upside before maybe another move down later this week, right? That's the big question we got for us right now on the short-term time frames. But good luck to you guys. Good luck to you. I'm taking this weekend off from trading because it is one of those things that just kind of keeps slowly bleeding down. It's absolutely crazy. Drunk Bear, what's going on, Drunk Bear? He's got the beer ready to go on Sunday. Let's go, man. Mr. Hart said this looks like a bear trap. We'll talk about that in 1 second, man. Because you guys know me. I'm still bullish on the high-term time frames. This is all short-term time frame stuff. And, you know, I think the market was getting a little bit... The market was getting too ecstatic, right? I mean, I guess I was kind of guilty of it too, right? We saw total 3 breakout. We're like, all right, altcoins might get a move. People started getting a little bit too euphoric. Market pulls back, resets, make everyone bearish, okay? And then we can continue on our merry way, right? But like, what do we do here, right? Because we've been talking about this multiple times. It's like, okay, we broke this high. Jordan, you look like you haven't slept in 40 hours. Dude, I was sick for like a week straight last week, so I have like a weird ass cough, and I still feel kind of tired and shit. So it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. If it looked like I haven't slept in 40 hours, that's probably why. But we're doing okay. We went to the gym today. We kicked ass in the gym today, and we did what we had to do. You know. But thank you, Two Wolves. I appreciate the nice comment by you. Papa Sosa said short-term bullish, very short-term though. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I mean, chances are, right, I still like this price action for a bounce. It's hard to tell right now because the market, we've seen these many times where it's like, oh, nice, little W formation forming, bop. Oh, nice, little W formation, bop. W formation, bop. You know, over and over and over again. But I'll say this, right? How we get super bullish and how I'm like, all right, this looks good. Bitcoin's going to make a new high. I need to see Bitcoin get back above these daily highs, right? So we need to see it get back above like the $28,500 region. If we can get back above $28,500, I think we're going to be looking pretty good, right? But it's all comes down to, okay, if Bitcoin does get a retrace, we don't want to get rejected right here and come back down. Because then you're kind of looking like, you're kind of retesting the previous highs. You're looking like you're getting a little rejection. And then you're most likely going to see, you know, a retest of 26.6 or down to 25.2. But if we can get back above 28.5, that's where I'm like, all right, Bitcoin's probably got a little bit more juice in it to test a little bit higher here, right? So we'll be watching that very, very carefully. You know, we're kind of in no man's land right now. I like to say, like, this is Bitcoin's no man's land. No man's land, you know? Feels really like April 2021 and 2022, very similar actions. April of 2021 and April of 2022. That's true. B Money said, looks like head and shoulders. Yeah, it could. If Bitcoin does, like I said, if Bitcoin does get a rise up here and gets rejected from 28.5 and then comes back down again, at that point, you're probably looking at, you know, a retest of the wick off breakout, right? At that point. All the false bullish divergences in the alts are driving me crazy. Aaron, it's been that kind of weekend, man. The alts have just gotten absolutely pounded, especially today. Altcoins just got slapped in the ass. You know, and it farted, right? Not only did the alts get slapped in the ass, they also farted too. You know what I mean? We'll talk about some alts in a little bit, but yeah, you got to focus on Bitcoin right now. Altcoins are going to cloud your judgment. You got to focus on the Bitcoin chart, right? Altcoins are cool, but you know, when there's uncertainty and there's fear in the market, altcoins are gonna look pretty trash, right? And a lot of altcoins look pretty freaking trash right now. After false breaking out last week, boom, right back to the downside, you know? B Money said facts. Let's see. Wait a minute. Arb got wrecked today. Arb got sent back to the shadow realm today. That is so true, Anderson. Arb got sent back to the shadow realm today. We'll talk about that in a little bit too, man. But altcoins, you don't even want to look at altcoins right now. Altcoins look like this freaking guy, you know? I'll say this. Okay? If you want to talk trash about my altcoins, all right? You're just a salty Bitcoin maxi. That's all you are, Jordan. You're a salty Bitcoin maxi. Stop talking about Bitcoin so much and talk about altcoins. You're trash. There's always that guy in the chat. There's always that guy in the chat who thinks I'm a Bitcoin maxi. And it's like, dude, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. Now, I probably own more, percentage-wise in my portfolio, probably more Bitcoin than most people do, but I'm far from a Bitcoin maxi, that's for sure. You could almost call me a Bitcoin and ETH maxi, but not quite. Not quite that. ETH boomer. I am proudly an ETH boomer. Proudly ETH boomer, bro. Lazarus said Horse Guy's half brother. Yeah, it's Horse Guy's half brother. He's like the mad version of Horse Guy. Exactly, Lazarus. We know how it is. Who we got in here though? Psycho Pearl said false hopium. 13K is on the horizon. Psycho Pearl. I'm gonna stick to my gut. My gut's still telling me that things are okay in the high time frames. Weekly looks pretty. The weekly close today looks pretty trash. I will say that though, guys. The weekly looks pretty trash. We have to be honest. The weekly candle looks absolutely horrendous. But we'll look at that in a little bit. But like I said, daily, we're back in our old range. We got to see how this kind of plays out. We're like I said, we're right in the middle of this range, so it's like, it's weird, right? It's like, I could see this dropping and getting another wick down to 26.6. I could also see this pumping and come up to 28.5. You're just in a weird little range right now, right? Now we're like, just like we said back here, we have to see which one breaks first, right? The bottom and the top of the range. Now we're kind of back in that old range where okay, if we get back above 28.5 on a close, I think things are looking pretty good. If we dump back below 6.6, I think things are looking pretty bad, right? So we're kind of in that zone. But what I'll say is, once again, any type of move down to 24.5 to 25.2 is just to me, is just a retest of the Wyckoff breakout that we had, right, a couple months ago, where like we've talked about this so many times, right? Where like, this was the first low. This was the second low, right? This was the spring phase. We came up. We sort of accumulated below. We got back above, and then sometimes, actually in the Wyckoff schematic, you usually see a back test of the Wyckoff accumulation range, right? So you're kind of just sitting back. If you come and back test this, that's okay, right? This is when a lot of people will get uber bearish and say it's over and stuff like that. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. But I think things will be okay there, man. I think things will be okay. At least right now, right? It's easy to say, oh, if it's going to go back down here, it's going to break. We have to see how the price action plays out, right? And we've seen this price action before. We've talked about this many times. We've seen this price action before. I wick off every night before bed. Do you, Mr. Hart, you wick off every night before bed? No, I don't wick off anymore, man. It's actually not good for you to do that, right? If you wank it every day, right, you're gonna turn into Bob, right? And you don't want to wank off every day. You'll turn into Bob, and you'll just kind of be like, man, I got this plastic surgery, and I was getting chicks left and right. Now no one digs me anymore. I guess I'll have to get more plastic surgery. Whacking off every day isn't the greatest. You get low energy. You lose all motivation to do things, you don't have that, like, superpower, and, it friggin' sucks, man. So, yeah, I'm gonna try not to do it, but, sometimes I see Wendy on Around the Blockchain, and I can't help myself, man. I can't help myself seeing a Wendy on Around the Blockchain. Don't be doing that, Mr. Hart. You gotta avoid that, man. What's going on? We're going to zero, said Big Rich.
Everybody panic. We're going to zero.
No, but going to the weekly time frame. Weekly looks kind of like trash. I mean, it does right now, right? So the weekly time frame, we got a big move up, but we got a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle in the weekly time frame. Now, it's not always the end of the world, right? We remember this candle up here when Bitcoin was at 31K, where we had a bearish engulfing. We had a big red candle, we bullishly engulfed, and then the next day we just dumped, right? So it's not the end of the world where it's like a bearish or bullish engulfing candle necessarily has to be the end of the world or the start of the world, right? But we do have a bearish engulfing on the weekly, so we have to mark that off. I'm looking at the market like this. It's a very simple way to look at the market, right? For me, it's this. Okay, in between 24.3 and like 29.5 on the weekly. This is like no man's land to me, right? This is complete no man's land. There's almost no price action in here, right? Look at this. There's like, we went straight up over here. We went straight down over here. right? We pretty much went straight up over here. So we're like, this is no man's land. No man wants to be in here, all right? Like, no price wants to stay in here. It's just up, down, up, down, up, down in between this little range, right? Bitcoin, we get above here. It's freaking on like Donkey Kong. We start closing candles below 24.3. It's probably off like Donkey Kong, right? So that's the way I'm looking at it, right? It is whatever Bitcoin does in no man's land, right? Whether it dumps and it gets an insta pump, whether it pumps from here, whether it chops sideways in here for months. This is kind of like no man's land to me. It's like whatever happens in here, everyone's gonna guess. Okay, it's gonna pump from here. It's gonna pump from 24.3. It's gonna go sideways for months. It's gonna dump straight down. Everyone in the mother is gonna guess in here, right? But as long as we hold above these highs on the weekly, and you hold the 50 moving averages as support, which historically Bitcoin's done when it's gotten back above those. Right? I'm still looking for these prices eventually, right? I don't know if it's going to be now. I don't know if it's going to be 3 months from now. I don't know if it's going to be next week or, whatever it's going to be. But I am still looking for up here based on what Bitcoin's done in the past, right? So I'm not going to let one weekly kind of change my mind on that. And I'm saying, even though, there is some other signs on the total market cap that don't look great. Rudy, what's going on, bro? It's good to see you. I feel like you could short support right now and it would work. Mr. Hart, but that's when it gets dangerous, And I feel the same way. Does anyone else feel the same way? It's like the market is just looking, it's just looking so bad where it's like Bitcoin in the short-term time frames, that's why I say right now, like, I don't know which way it's going to go. Like normally I'd be like, okay, this is a nice W formation forming on the 4 hour, right? I like this to move up. Like I said earlier, I can see this going both ways. It just feels like that market right now. Like Mr. Hart said it perfectly in the chat. We're like, you could go short here and you might win. Where normally you go short here, you're wrecked, right? You're short in support, you're getting wrecked. But it's when everyone starts feeling that way. When everyone starts feeling, man, I could just short right now no matter what, and I'm going to make money. That's when the market rips into the other direction. Are we at that point yet? I don't know if we're at that point yet. Does anyone else feel that way? Like you could short right now and it's easy money, even though you're technically not at, you could say you're at a short area, but when you're technically not at like the most optimal place to short, right? I think once it gets to that point, that's when the market frickin' destroys everyone trying to short, Rounder said people are way too bearish. I think people are just cautionable right now, man. Very cautionable. Psycho Pearl said just shorted 100x. There you go. We're all shorting that. Seward said the panic phase. I don't know if we're at the panic phase yet. And that's why for me, guys, like to be honest, right now, the way I'm looking at this is I actually would want to see a little bit more fear in the market because I think and I would be cool if Bitcoin just pumped from here. You guys know me. Like, I want the price to go up. But to be honest, right here, would I be totally against Bitcoin just like maybe it gets a little move up and then it just kind of dumps like this? Would I be against this? Not at all, right? Not at freaking all, man. Because I, people get a little bit too optimistic. People start trying to long. If you dump this one more time, you're going to kill everyone's freaking belief, man. Everyone's not going to be, no one's going to want a long anymore. Everyone's going to go short. And that's when the market can really find some buyers here at 24, 25K, right? And then everyone's going to go short. No one's going to have the confidence to long. And that's when the market goes back up, I just don't know if we're at that point yet. You know what I mean? 60% of retail is long now. That's very true, bro. Very, very true. How's everyone feeling tonight, man? How's everyone feeling tonight? So it's that time in the market where it's like, the market's kind of boring right now. Unless you're shorting. It's pretty good. But the market's kind of boring, right? For hodlers, the market's pretty boring right now. There's not really too much going on for the hodlers out there. But let's talk about some other things, right? Let's talk about some other things. So it's April 23rd. A couple different things that are going on in the market, man. We gotta sort of watch the S&P this week. S&P right at resistance. The last couple times we've been up here, we've seen S&P dump, right? So right here, right? So you see this level right here at like 4150. We came up here once. What the hell's going on here? Get this freaking magnet off my damn screen. Holy, get this freaking magnet off my damn screen. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day, though. Thanks for coming on and hanging out a little bit early on this Sunday. Like I said, we got the Celtics game coming up at 7 o'clock. I haven't been able to catch one because they're always on at 7. They never have a day game. They're always on at 7. And I thought, today, Sunday, let me go out live a little bit early. I can catch the Celtics game. It's going to be good. It's going to be good in the hood. I'm feeling pretty good today. I got one of the best workouts I have in forever in the gym today. It was fantastic, man. But we got the S&P, right? Whenever we come to this 4150 level, we've seen a dump, right? We've deviated a little bit above, dumped. Like, this is a rock hard freaking level. It's hard as shit. What will the market do this week? I don't know. It's a big question to see. Obviously, you got to be a little bit cautious at resistance, as we've gotten a dump every single time, right? But it'll be very interesting to see if we hold this and we make a push up to this 42.82 level this week, or if we once again deviate above this and we see another dump. If the stock markets start coming back down, you probably see Bitcoin continue down at least a little bit further, and then the dollar is at support, right? So it's like, the dollar's at support, but doesn't look the strongest, right? It's sort of just like slowly bleeding down, right? Even the weekly close last week on the dollar, it's like you wicked up, wicked back down. It's not like it looks strong. The dollar looks pretty weak too. So you got S&P at resistance, you got dollar at support, but not looking that great. You got Bitcoin just bleeding out. It should be an interesting week to see if if things turn around here. Or if the dollar shoots up and things get a little bit worse, at least in the short term, Let's see. Nuts Flush said it's a bull market. Wake up, fools. Oh, we got Nuts Flush who's bullish again. Let's go, man. Let's go, Nuts Flush. Nah, man. I'm still feeling pretty nice, man. It's just getting through the short-term price action, man. It's getting through the freaking short-term price action, man. Bitcoin's back above the 50 EMA, 50 SMA. Whenever it's done that, right, and held above it for multiple weeks, Bitcoin continues to go up to the retracement level. So I'm still looking for it, and nothing's changed until Bitcoin breaks below the 50 moving averages, right? It could pull all the way back to freaking 22K, right? And still be fine, for the bigger picture. You know what I mean? And, the sentiment in this market's pretty crazy. As you see one red week and it's like the end of the world. You know what I mean? We've seen this price action so many times for Bitcoin in the past, man. It's hilarious, right? If we take this price action from, do I have it still up over here? Let me see. I don't know if I still have it up over here. Hold on, do I have it over here? No. Do I have it down here on the daily? Where did I put those little fractals, man? But it's funny because we just saw this price action down here. It's the same exact price action. So do the market makers do the same thing twice? I don't know, man. Hold on, let me bring this up real quick. Let's do this, right? Let's bring this and bring this up like this, right? We just saw the price action we're seeing now not too long ago. Look, Bitcoin literally doing pretty much the exact same thing. You could argue that we're right here in this phase, right here. Will the market makers do the same freaking thing? It's like you make a little bearish divergence on the daily, you dump it, right, to the 50 EMA, you kind of settle there for a little bit, you got one more flush, and then you bring it back up, right? That's the big question. We've done this before, and everyone got super bearish right here last time too. You know what I mean? This is the banking crisis. This is when USDC was getting depegged. Everyone and their mother getting super bearish right here. And then Bitcoin out of nowhere, right? Oh, everything's bearish. Oh no, Bitcoin's dumping.
Everybody panic. We're going to zero.
You had the macro guys starting to come back out of the woodwork, But no, Jordan, the banks are going down. That is horrible for the markets. You even had stablecoins getting depegged. So not only is the macro bad, but stablecoins getting depegged too. It is over. It is over. You had the macro guys coming out. So if Bitcoin does get something like this, I expect everyone and their mother to be bearish right here again. It's just how low do they bring this? I would say people are a little bit more pessimistic than they were last week, but not really that much yet. And I think one more flush down would make everyone pessimistic, right? Everyone and their mother would be pessimistic at that point. You know what I mean? But it really is the same thing that's happening. We did this back in 2020 too. We did this back in 2020. Look at this. Let's bring this price action over like this. Let's just bring this little bad boy up here. Let's bring this over here. And, you know, this price action is pretty common when it comes to like before you go into a little bit of a nice phase, right? Obviously not 100%, but it's kind of the same point, right? You get some like 3-day bearish divergence, right? Where you got higher highs, lower highs, right? You come back down, you retest the previous highs, and then you kind of go up like this. You know, we've seen this many times in sort of Bitcoin's past. So last 2 times we've seen it, it's showed a move to 24, 25K. Will we get there? I don't freaking know. You know what I mean? But, you know, the bigger term time frames are still the same, guys. What's going on? I'm buying if we drop to 25K. Nice, man. He's buying if we drop to 25K. Nice, bro. You know, it's always go back to this meme. I thought this meme was pretty funny. Let me know. He said, will I ever... This is everyone at 31K, man. You know, price moves up to 31K. Everyone's like freaking...
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
Oh, look at these pit stains. Look at the pit stains, bro. Look at that. Oh, man. This is going to be the shape of the bear's blood in a few weeks. Let me tell you. The bear's blood in a few weeks right here, man. But, you know, like last week, everyone's like freaking...
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
You know? And now this week, it's like, will I ever get to buy the pullback? Yes. But you'll forget it's a pullback and short anyways. It's so true, man. It's so true. Could I get a pullback? Okay, here you go. Here's a nice 10 to 20% pullback for you. Oh, it's not good enough. We're going to 12K now. You know? And this market's always funny, man. You know, it's like, you know, people are like, just, oh, if it goes back to 25K, I'll definitely buy some. Price goes back to 25K, and then it's all you hear is...
Bitcoin's going to 10K.
You know? This market's funny, man. Would be funny if Gensler getting sacked pumped the market. Bro, can you sack Gensler? Please, let's sack Gensler, man. I'm begging to sack Gensler. A couple other things. A couple of interesting charts I want to look at today, guys. Let's see. Always get in on the pullout. That is true. Who we got in here? Chris Tat said government grilling Gensler was a distraction for them dumping all their BTC right now. Bro, that would be bullish. I would love if the government dumped all their Bitcoin right now. It would cause us a short-term pullback. It causes a short-term dump, which would do 2 things. You would let the government get rid of all their Bitcoin so they can't sell later on down the road, and also you would scare the little gremlins in the space who can't handle a 10% pullback. You know, and so you would kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You know what I mean? So if they want to do that, sure. I don't think they did though, because we have their address. And I don't think they did sell any of their BTC. I could be wrong about that, but I was looking for, you know, U.S. government selling their BTC because someone has their address. I didn't see anyone post about the U.S. government selling their BTC or anything, you know. Incognito said, nice, prices are coming to buy alts for HODL portfolio. Yeah, just be careful on altcoins, man. I would say, you know, once again, if alts come back to really good support levels, sure, you don't mind holding through some volatility, sure, right? But as always, like, you know, you gotta have some serious, you gotta be very precise with your altcoin buys. Like, you can't be buying alts at just because you want to buy an alt, right? Buy alts at very specific support levels, where you have, like, you can even say, okay, if it breaks this, I'll cut it and I'll buy it back, you know, whenever. But be very, very careful on altcoins. And make sure you're playing your altcoin buys, right? Like whether it's you're buying at a 618 Fibonacci, or you're buying at a key support level, right? Because as we know with altcoins, they can if Bitcoin's looking a little shady, they can definitely get hit pretty hard, you know. So Interactive said CZ. Oh, come on, man. Who we got in here? CZ has been real quiet lately. Trevor, that is true, man. I haven't actually heard anything about CZ in a long time. Anyone else notice that? That's not great. Hopefully we don't get. You know, I'm just spitballing here. You know, it is what it is. Hopefully we don't get one of these. Guys, if you hear any FUD, tweet the word 4, okay? Let everyone know in the comments section that 4, okay? Ignore the FUD. 4. All right, okay. I tweeted it out. Okay, shit. All these people don't know that. All these people don't know what's coming. Shit. We're out of Bitcoin to buy, and shit. I got everyone to FOMO into this fake bull market, man. And shit. How am I gonna tell them all? I guess I'll make up some tweet and say, never FOMO into bull markets. Oh shit. Hopefully we'll get hit one of those. I'm just spitballing. No, I'm totally making that up. Another cool chart to look at, guys. If we want to look at another cool chart, because I like looking at cool charts. Bitcoin versus the SPX. This was the chart we talked about all the way down here. Remember we had that? Let's check this in a few months. Well, ever since that point, Bitcoin versus the stock market, Bitcoin has outpaced the S&P by 91% since December. So Bitcoin has been smacking the S&P around as far as its viability. Now, you can see we came up to a big resistance on Bitcoin versus the S&P, but we might have a little bit of a clue here, right? And I want you guys to notice this, because I was poking around some charts today, some bigger time frame charts and some like more obscure charts like this one. You might be thinking this one doesn't really matter. It does, right? And I was poking around at this, and if you notice where we are, what we did over here is, you guys can see this resistance and this resistance. We're finding resistance on the previous 2017 all-time high. But a couple weeks ago, we got a massive green candle and we were able to break above that, right? So here's where it gets interesting. And maybe this could give us a little bit of a clue on when Bitcoin will get a bounce. Or will deviate, right? Well, one of the two, I guess. But we have this zone, which is basically the wick of the weekly high and the weekly close high. So if we just take this zone, right, you can see that we're coming back down to test this, right? And you can also see that it's like the July 2021 lows and the December 2017 highs. You can see we're coming back down to test this right now. So, it'll be interesting. This has a little bit lower to go on this little bad boy here. You can see that. But, will we find some support here like this to get a rise back up to the upside on Bitcoin versus the S&P? Definitely could. We've done this price action before. Look at this. Look at this. We have the same price action right here. You see this? Where we had a high. We made a higher high. We took out the low, right? You see this? We took out the low, and then we moved up higher. Look at what we're doing now. We have the high. We have the higher high. We're taking out that low. So if we can take out this low, we might get that move back up. And why is this important? Well, if Bitcoin's outpacing the S&P, probably the markets are going up, right? Most likely. Usually that doesn't happen when the markets go down. Very, very unlikely if that's the point, right? So we'll continue to look at this. I think this is an interesting chart we'll continue to look at here, but we talked about this down here. So far, it's been pretty freaking good. Let's see. Who we got? Look at the chart that shows when the sheep that are scared of Gensler stop selling. The sheep of Gary Gensler. All right. The other one, the other chart I want to look at, and, because I keep hearing this on Twitter and I keep hearing this everywhere, is the freaking sell in May and go away. Sell in May and go away is the biggest myth, at least for Bitcoin, that I've ever seen in my life. and I'm going to show you guys right now. Who believes in sell in May and go away? Raise your hand in the chat. If you believe in sell in May and go away, raise your hand in the chat. I went back and I looked, right? Because I was curious, because I keep hearing this on Twitter 24/7, man. I went back and I looked at every single May in Bitcoin's history, right? I think we have 13 Mays in Bitcoin's history. I went back and I looked. And you've had, okay, 9 out of 13, okay? 9 out of 13 times that Bitcoin actually went higher in May and June, okay? So to me, that is a complete BS narrative. It's because everyone thinks that because the last two were bearish, right? If you look at this, I marked off all the Mays. The last two were bearish, okay? It is an echo chamber, Christopher Reed. If you actually go back and look, it's just not true. It's just not true, man. It's just this echo chamber where everyone's like I should bring up echo chamber guy. The frick is someone doing out there, man? What the frick is someone doing out there, man? Stop backing up your truck, bro. This ain't the time to be backing up your truck. Bro, go. Get out of here, man. This ain't the time to back up your truck. Yeah, man, like, who the frick? Hold on. I gotta go yell at this guy out the window. Hold up. Just kidding. I'm not gonna yell. I had to close that damn window. Someone's fire alarm's going off out there, bro. Someone's fire alarm's going out there, bro. I wasn't gonna yell. There was some old lady standing out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna yell that. But you know, it's the echo chamber where everyone's like, yeah, man, sell in May and go away. Markets always go down in May. Yeah, I totally didn't back check this. I'm just saying this because everyone says it's true. Now, you know, the last two Mays have been bad, right? So May 2021, obviously that was China freaking saying they're not allowing Bitcoin anymore, or crypto. China banned for the 800th time, Bitcoin dumped. And then last May obviously was the Luna crash, right? So the last two Mays, bad, right? But the funny thing is, right, the sell in May and go away narrative has not worked 69% of the time for Bitcoin and only works in year-long bear phases, right? It only works when you're in that year-long bear market that typically Bitcoin has, right? Other than the last two, right? I mean, we can go back and look at all of them. This one was bullish. May of 2020, super bullish. May of 2019, super bullish. This one in May of 2018, it was bearish. It kind of just went sideways, but it was bearish, I guess. You know, May of 2017, bullish. May of 2016, bullish. May of 2015, bullish. You know, May of 2014, bullish. Even in a bear market. 2013, bearish, but then like, look at 2012, bullish. 2011, bullish. 2010, bullish. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, the last two were bearish, yes. But I don't put any stock into this, man. 69% of the time, it is not bearish, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go back and look at it. Because the thing about this space is everyone likes to parrot shit, you know, because they hear it from this guy, they hear it from this guy. Sometimes when you hear this shit, you got to go look at it yourself, and then it's just not freaking true, man. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to say it's going to be bullish. It could still be bearish, but it's not like this guaranteed thing where it's like, oh, Bitcoin's 100% going to go down because it's sell in May and go away. You know, it is what it is. D. Kennedy, what's going on, man? May 14th is bearish. T Money, let's get it, man. May 14th is bearish. May 14th is bearish. Let's go, bro. Let's go. It's a beautiful Sunday today, though, guys. It was a fantastic day out today. It was like 70 degrees. You got to love 70-degree days in April. Just an absolutely fantastic day, bro. You know, I'm going to make some tacos tonight. It's going to be fresh tacos. I love making tacos. They're going to be so freaking good, man. So freaking good. Kennedy, thanks for shouting out the like button, bro. Appreciate you for being here, man. Christopher Reed said, Max Payne in May. Everyone sells, market maker, and whales pump us to 40K. Yeah, I mean, you never know what Max Payne. I think Max Payne is always sideways. Max Payne is sideways. You know, everyone likes to say Max Payne is up or Max Payne is down. I think right now, I think down here, Max Payne was up, right? I think right here, Max Payne was down. I think right here, what would be Max Payne right now would be this. I think this would be Max Payne right now because you're not really low enough for the bears to be chirping. You're not really high enough for the bulls to be chirping. You're just kind of in no man's land right in the middle. You know, this would be Max Payne. You know, it's just maybe 2, 3, 4 months of just freaking chop suey sideways. You know what I mean? Like that would be horrible. I would be going insane if that was the case. Especially after we had pretty much 10 months of boringness down here. You know, I would be going insane. That would be horrible, bro. You know? Max Payne is getting pegged by your mom. Getting pegged by your mom. TC said, we are in the disbelief phase. Everything is wrong. The disbelief phase. Yeah, that's still my thought process as well. I do think it's gonna be a bumpy ride though. It's not gonna be something that we're just gonna go straight up. There's gonna be bumps. Just like, we had a huge bump here at 25K where we dumped all the way back down to 19. We got a shot back up. We were struggling with 28K for a little bit. Got to move up, and then boom. It ain't going to be a straight move, man. I do think it's just going to be a chop suey in here. But to me, actually, at this point, I would actually really like if we pulled back to test 24,000. I would be cool with us pumping, but who freaking knows? That's the whole year. That would be crazy. That would be horrible, bro. Absolutely horrible. DXY bullish, about to open and break to the upside. Yeah, the DXY is at support, right? I mean, it's tough to say because last week wasn't the most convincing close on the DXY. It's at support, so you have to be kind of like, you have to kind of look at the DXY like you kind of got to look at it, and understand that you're kind of making a little double bottom, right? And these W formations do typically break to the upside, but it's just not the most convincing price action. It's just kind of a slow bleed in the weekly. And even last week, which closed green, this wasn't the most bullish candle in the world, But you are at an interesting spot right now, man. I will say that. You will say that, and I guess it kind of makes sense because the gold, which everyone, I love the gold peeps, man. Everyone gets bullish on something right at. Everyone starts getting bullish on gold when it's right at resistance, right? Gold with weekly bearish divergence at previous levels, right? So you have resistance on gold. You have higher highs, you have lower highs on the RSI. Right at resistance, right? And if gold's gonna go down, when you see the dollar go up, that's the thing, It'll be interesting to see, man. I think these next few weeks will be interesting. Just like this whole year has been interesting. This whole year has been great. This has been a fantastic year. Fantastic year, man. Absolutely fantastic. Satoshi Nakamoto, you're on early, bro. Of course we're on early. We got to be on early sometimes. We got to rock it out in this crypto, bitch. Let's freaking go, man.
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
Let's go. We got to be out here. DCM, my extra money away time. I mean, yeah. Listen, people will knock on you for buying, in this region. Like I said, dude, the halving is less than a year away. You know what I mean? 300, it's like 340 days away or something like that. You know what I mean? So once again, like we're almost halfway through this year. This is sort of the range, man, right here in 2023, right? This is the range where everyone's going to laugh at you and say crypto's a scam and crypto's dead, blah, 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 right? I see Bitcoin is super, super loud, right? Especially now. Just like they were in this region down here. And all those Bitcoiners bought all up here, And this will be the time where people will laugh at you and say, "What, you're buying crypto right now, bro? You're an idiot, bro." Those are the same people who bought the highs in 2021, right? So, once again, halving is less than a year away. I know that's like you think that's kind of far, but you got to understand, like, May of 2022 doesn't even seem like that long ago. That's when Luna got freaking dumped, right? That doesn't even seem that long ago. So, once again, whatever we do in here, whether we do this or we just freaking do this or I don't know, it is what it is. If you believe in the 4-year cycle, which it's worked 3 times in a row, and it seems like it's working again for the 4th time in a row, then I guess, this is the time when people make fun of you, but like I said, all those same people will be buying up here. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's the same thing as 2021. Let's see. This is when everyone gets super bored. This is when everyone gets like pissy and everyone just gets hopeless and everyone's like, oh my God, this market's a scam, right? Because their investment might be down 20, 30%, whatever. But it is what it is. Pre-sales going down. Exactly. Let's see. Hello, Mike. What's going on, bro? What is going on, man? Let's go. Darren said, let's go. Going down with the ship. Bro, you ain't going down with the ship, bro. What are you going down with the ship for? Bitcoin is down. This market's funny, man. Bitcoin is down. 11% from the high. Okay, I know everyone's worried about altcoins, but like this is why you got to be careful with altcoins, man. You know, you got to be careful with altcoins, man. I strictly talk about Bitcoin. If you're worried about altcoins, there's different channels for that. All right, altcoins are good when Bitcoin's in an uptrend, typically, right? But Bitcoin's down 11%, right? We've seen, a 10% drop here. We've seen a 20% drop here. We've seen a freaking whatever this was, 12% drop here, right? Even down here, we saw a freaking 12% drop, It is what it is. We'll see how it plays out, guys. I'll go down with the shit. That's a great song, by the way. I'll go down with this shit. When I was a kid, I always thought she said, I'll go down with this shit. You know exactly what song I'm talking about, guys. You'll go down with this shit. Right? But she actually says ship. And I was always scared to ask my mom, hey, Mom, is she saying shit? But then I realized later she was saying ship. It was great. Anthony B said, you staying on longer tonight or just on early for the Celtics? Anthony, you probably answered that question yourself, bro. You know exactly why I'm on early today. Because the Celtics, I said, are on at 7 o'clock every day. I never get to watch them because they're always on at 7 o'clock, even though all these other teams get to play at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. But no, the Celtics are always on at 7, bro. They're trying to tease me. They're teasing me. Mike Dawson, what's going on? Mike Dawson became a member. Let's go. Mike Dawson is back. He's back and he's ready to attack. Shout out to Mike Dawson, man. Mike said, can you look at CQT? Yeah, I'll look at a few alts, man. I'm not really too worried about altcoins right now, man. Altcoins, they all look like shit. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it here, We can pull out the George Hopium, but they all look like absolute dog shit right now. Maybe Bitcoin saves them, but, it is what it is. Let's say CQT. CQT. Oh, this one actually doesn't look too shabby. Let's see. So let's go like the daily on this. Let's see. The daily on this bad boy. What we got? Well, once again, I mean, you're kind of clinging on there to this little support level here, But kind of my thought process for these, man, is like, okay, cool, there's support there, but I've already seen so many altcoins break supports, so I'm not gonna be sitting here and going, oh my god, CQT's at support, it's gonna get a bounce, It's you're just kind of in that market right now where it's everyone's kind of scared again. I don't know, man. I can't control the market, but everyone is scared as shit again. You know what I mean? It's like in 1 week, people can go from euphoric to scared, and I can't control what retail does. Bitcoin sniffs a 1% move, people be dumping altcoins like crazy. But CQT, I guess it's at support, but man, I can't trust this right now. I cannot trust it. It's got some like hidden bullish divergence, but higher highs on the higher lows on the price action, but lower lows on the RSI. But man, kind of like we've been saying, man, if Bitcoin takes another little drop, this one's going to be breaking support most likely, and then you're kind of looking for a little bit lower. So let's see. Sumer said, "Is your girlfriend chopping up your neighbor back there?" No, she's probably making some cool little art or something. She's making some cool little art. Yo, B-Water, what's going on, man? Better late than never, my friend. What are you over there, swimming in some bath water? You slurping someone's bath water over there, Bath? Is that what you're doing today? Let's see. But yeah, it's like I said, altcoins, it's just watch Bitcoin at the moment. It is still in its like uptrend, but kind of like we're saying, it's we need to see how markets look this week. We need to see how the DXY performs this week. We need to see how the S&P performs this week. And my thought process is Bitcoin's kind of in no man's land. I could see Bitcoin dumping or pumping from this current level it's currently at right now. Everyone's guessing, man. I looked at Twitter a little bit today, and everyone's like, it was like bearish yesterday, now bullish again. We're at the same level. I don't freaking know, man. So like for this one though, I you're still near the highs. I still wouldn't be opposed to TPing a little bit up here. But you gotta just, you can use this as an example for many altcoins, and it's because I've seen so many altcoins break support. Right, we go to like right. I mean, I can draw these like same horizontal levels. Right, we look at like OP for example. Right, breaking has a nice horizontal support level. Right, broke it to the downside. I can look at Matic. Right, Matic kind of had a nice horizontal support level, right? It was looking pretty nice. Boom, broke it to the downside, So you gotta. Altcoins are altcoins, man. Bath, what earnings all week? Absolutely, bro. I think Bath's got it right. It's a good week to kind of touch grass. You got earnings this week. I think you had PCE coming up this week. You have more jobs reports coming up this week. Many things that could impact the dollar, right? If the dollar moves up, well, assets will move down. Mike Dawson said, Jordan, you're the best crypto tuber. Thank you, Mike Dawson. I will disagree with you. There's many, many beautiful people out there, but I appreciate it, man. There's so many good peeps out there, man. But I will say this. We have the most fun in this channel when the market's fun. Right now, it's flat. There ain't nothing going on. Nuts flush that I just bought OP. Nice, bro. Yeah, man. I mean, my top altcoin holdings, are mostly L2s on ETH. Matic, OP, ARB. So I guess you could call me an ETH. I'm a Bitcoin and ETH maxi, man. If you take out Bitcoin and then ETH ecosystems, you call me a Bitcoin ETH maxi all day, and you can probably be right. You know what I mean? Let's see. Dro2 said, do you think Fed now can't prevent us from buying crypto? Who knows? The Fed now, if they come out with their CBDC, can they like stop us from buying crypto with the CBDC? Who knows, man? I don't know. We're so far away from that. Let's see. Crow baby. Man. I think we've kind of talked about most things, man. I think the biggest thing is, guys, just don't listen to, I don't say don't listen. I mean, you do your own research on this, but everyone who keeps parroting them sell in May and go away, right? My biggest point for today is, because that's a week away and I'm sick of hearing this sell in May and go away shit, it's just not the case. Has not worked 69% of the time in Bitcoin's history. Okay, Bitcoin actually does better in May and June than most months, So that's just not true. Let's see. Bought some more Matic today. Nice, Mike. Oh! I love when cars go by. I get a nice little concert for a little bit. It's great. It's absolutely great. All right, guys. All right. Other than that, I mean, today was probably going to be a short. We'll kind of hang out and kick it for a little bit. Just because altcoins are altcoins right now, man. I'm not too much interested in looking at altcoins, bro. If you didn't see the meme from earlier, will I ever get a pullback? Yes, but you'll forget it's a pullback in short anyway. Sad little boy, man. Sad little freaking boy. This weekend price action, man. Will this break to the upside? We'll see. Starts in July. Vans is a Gensler whale. Is he a Gensler whale? Who knows, man. What did everyone do this weekend? Anyone do anything fun this weekend? Anyone kick it this weekend? Went on a long walk to the mall this weekend. I had to get oh, guys, I have a wedding coming up this next weekend, so I will be gone on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this next weekend. I had to go to the mall. I had to get a freaking shirt. I had to get some new brown shoes. All the bells and whistles, man. It is what you guys know how weddings is. Like, you got to go to a wedding and you got to get all this stuff, and it's like, great, man. That's what I did this weekend. Other than that, really didn't do much. Didn't really do freaking much. Went to the gym. We sort of chilled out, and the markets are kind of whatever right now, so it's not really. And I touched some grass. I went to the park, and I didn't go to the park, but I walked down the side, here, and I just touched some grass, guys. That's what we do. We just touch some grass. Mr. Hart said, I went to Chuck E. Cheese. There's still Chuck E. Cheese's around? I haven't been to Chuck E. Cheese since I was a kid. I used to love Chuck E. Cheese. You know why? Not even for the games. I actually thought the Chuck E. Cheese pizza was phenomenal. They put so much cheese on that stuff. It was fantastic, and I love cheese. So as a kid, Chuck E. Cheese was prime, man. Absolutely prime. You know? It was prime. Mike said, got drunk last night with some friends and stressed over the hockey game. You stressed over the hockey game. The hockey game. I see you with the Boston accent, Mike. The hockey game. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go watch some basketball at the bar with my guy Johnny down the street. Yo, Johnny, you wanna go watch the Celtics games at the bar? Yo, can you make sure you grab my keys? They're hanging up over there on the ceiling. Can you grab them? All right. Thank you. Yeah, let's go down to the bar. We'll watch the Celtics game. Yeah. We can get a vodka soda. Mike said, yeah, now you have diabetes. I'm shocked that I don't. You know, as a kid, I probably should have some diabetes. I used to eat so much pizza, chips, pasta. I used to eat so much dog shit. I still eat a lot of dog shit. To be fair, I still eat a lot of dog shit. Let's check out Ethereum. Ethereum, same kind of thinking as Bitcoin. It's like, okay, above 2031, above this previous high from August, it's on like Donkey Kong. Oh, what the hell?
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
In between 2000 and 1500, this is no man's land, right? No man's land right here, bro. This is absolute no man's land. And then, 1500 probably, if you break below that on a weekly close, it's probably not looking too good. and it's probably off at that point. So this is the way I'm kind of looking at ETH. It's the same as Bitcoin, right? In between here, it's kind of just been kind of up and down and up, right? So there's not a lot of shit going on in this little area here. So that's kind of where we're at. Another bearish engulfing candle on you got a bearish engulfing on ETH, and on the weekly, you got a bearish engulfing on Bitcoin on the weekly. Not the best weekly candles in the world. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And we kind of swung fail this high, right? So, I guess at this point, it's the same thought process as Bitcoin. Like, if Bitcoin wants to continue down to this like 24 to 25K retest, where you should find support there, right? You have a high. You should find support there. So if Bitcoin does something like this, right? I guess we should expect ETH to, right? At that point, ETH could get a move probably all the way back down to like, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes and tests, maybe 1680 or back down to even like 1500. I would not be surprised whatsoever. But ETH's been holding up pretty good. And still, guys, I understand there's a lot of impatience in the market. But guys, I mean, ETH year to date, it's always funny in this market, man. ETH year to date is still up 55%. At one point, yes, it was up 80%, but you're up 55% year to date. And Bitcoin, year to date, still up 67%. So I know it's all doom and gloom and this and that, but let's just chill out, guys. Let's do our thing and let's see where this no man lands takes us on Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, let's do it, man. I can sense the market getting euphoric, and then everyone's just pissy, and it is what it is. We got to stay up. We got to stay up. Anderson said, I want to say I saw frozen Chuck E. Cheese pizzas at the grocery store. You did back in the day. They used to have those back in the day, but they no longer do. But if I'm going to get a frozen pizza, it's going to be DiGiorno. The DiGiorno Rising Crust Pizza. Guys, if you ever want like a cheap, nice frozen pizza that actually tastes like really, really good, the DiGiorno, you have to get the Rising Crust. DiGiorno Rising Crust, you put that in, you slap it in the oven for 20 minutes. Bro, that comes out like a freaking Pumami pizza. I'm telling you. DiGiorno Rising Crust. Don't get the thin crust. Shiza. Get the Rising Crust DiGiorno. I'm telling you. Anderson, oh no, just recently? No way you saw a Chuck E. Cheese pizza. No way. I don't even think Chuck E. Cheese is legit anymore. I think Chuck E. Cheese is literally out of business right now. I really think it is. What have we got in here? Sewage, I saw that comment in the comments section. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Jack's Pizza. Jack's. I don't know if I ever had Jack's. Crypto Beehive said Red Baron. Red Baron's pretty good. I'll give. I've had all the frozen pizzas in the books. I'm pretty sure. But Red Baron. Oh my God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful in Red Baron. I'd mess up some Red Baron too. All right. I like the Rising Wedge. Me too, man. I like the Rising Wedgies. All right, let's look at the total market cap, kind of looking like trash. The total market cap chart, guys, kind of looks like absolute shit. Like this one is like pretty freaking. I don't like this one. We're back down to the 50 EMA. This is our kind of a 50 EMA and 50 SMA cloud here. Once again, as long as we hold this, it's all good in the hood. But once again, on total market cap, kind of looking like shit. To be fair, once again, we've done this before. But we do have, a bearish engulfing on the weekly on total market cap. And we also had this high that we broke. And now we're coming back in, right? And, call it a swing failure pattern. Call it whatever you want to do. Not the greatest price action on total, right? So if we get a bearish engulfing and a swing fail, could we still see some downside? Abso-freaking-lutely. And like I said, if Bitcoin's going to go to 25K, which I think is still possible, I think that's definitely possible. This is Bitcoin going to 25K. You could easily see total getting a little bit more downside here. Especially I would even say to like maybe 103 trillion, maybe even down to 1 trillion. But or even a back test of this all-time high trend line, right? Boop, back test this. But man, I would say not the best close on the weekly. It could be worse, but not the greatest. Let's find. Let's see. Anyone try the White Castle frozen? The White Castle frozen, huh? No, man. You talk about the burger, dude. White Castle burgers frozen are absolute shit, man. Those things are absolute dog shit, right? Even the Viking wouldn't eat that. He couldn't find food for multiple years. Yes, guys, even I don't like the frozen White Castle burgers. I eat squirrels, crickets, and raccoons on the daily. I found one White Castle frozen burger once, and I didn't know what it was. I cooked it. That shit was a piece of shit. It tasted worse than a squirrel. It was hard and had no flavor. Do not get White Castle burgers, whether raw or new. They are absolute dog shit. Get the squirrel before you get that. White Castle's trash, man. Like, if you're gonna get a shit burger, just get McDub's. It's way better than White Castle. Way better than White Castle. Easy. You like those frozen sliders? Oh my god, bro, you're crazy, man. How do you like those frozen sliders? Oh shit, that's disgusting. We don't get White Castle here in the UK. Only Five Guys. Five Guys, yes.
Strap up.
Well,
We're going to the moon.
It's one of those days you talk about food, man. It's definitely one of those days you talk about food. I don't know, guys. What do we think here? What do we think on the charts, right? We can talk about food all day. What do we think happens in here? Because I don't know. I don't know in here. There's some mixing signals, right? We're at the 50 EMA. You got the daily stocks that are bottomed out, actually getting a cross on that. But at the same point, the short-term price action does not give me any sort of like pure optimism on the short-term charts, right? And then I go to like the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart crossing back to the downside. What do we think happens here? It's an interesting point in the chart. Like I said, I could see this dumping down to 26.6. I could see this getting a retracement up to 28.5. I could see both ways. I guess it really is going to come down to, what is the DXY going to do this week? Is the stock market going to break through resistance? Because it's at resistance. Is the S&P going to break through resistance? Man, it's an interesting point in here. You know me, I think whatever we do between 25K and 28.5 is sort of just going to be freaking chop suey, But it is definitely an interesting point in the market right now. Very interesting. But we've done this in the past, right? If we go back to this consolidation, right, where I compare, the price action's pretty freaking similar, right? Where we went sideways for like, let me just pull this. I like using the arrow, man. It's nice. We went sideways over here for like a month. We dumped, came back up, made a higher high, came back to the 50 EMA. We kind of held it for a couple days, then we dumped back down. You know, we went sideways for a month, pumped higher high, back to the 50 EMA. Are we just going to hold it for a few days before dumping again? That's the question here. We kind of did a similar thing, right? We had, you know, the daily stocks were bottomed out down over right here, right? We were like, oh, okay, it might be a nice point for a bounce. Nope. Market went,
nope. Stupid.
and dumped lower, right? So that's kind of where we're at right now. It's like, do we see this flush to 25K? You know, it should be very, very interesting, man. If I had to guess, you know, I do think we take out these lows at some point. Whether we pump up first and then dump, or we dump first, I think it makes sense to take out these lows, right? Because you probably have a lot of stop losses below these lows right here. If we dump here, boop, take out all these stop losses, right? And maybe back test this. Maybe we don't come that far. I think that would make more sense. But, you know, like what do I say? What do I know, man? You know, it is what it is. Smack the likes. Smack the likes, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I just opened my phone from being in a coma since November 2021. What the hell happened, said John. The market dead. The market is dead. That's what it is. Mafid said, please don't dump. Fahid, are you long right now? Is that why you don't want it to dump? Let's see. Bitcoin 2020 said, Jordan, there's a bigger arrow in the tools. Is there? Is there a bigger arrow? Where's the bigger arrow, bro? In the tools section. Where do I find this tools section, man? I gotta search that another time now. I'll find the tools section. What we got here? Will Thorne said Bitcoin sub 16K. I need some tacos in my life. Will Thorne wants 16K, doesn't he? Will, man, Will, I appreciate you on the day, but I hope Bitcoin doesn't go to 16K. I still remain with the fact that I don't think that's going to happen though, unless we get some actually freaking crazy shit. Some crazy shit has to go down. You know, like some crazy shit. You know, there has to be like a pandemic 2.0 in my opinion at this point. But we'll see. Who the frick knows, right? The Village said DXY in the daily seems to have W forming, which could be a massive M pattern by September this year, signaling all bull run thoughts. Yeah, I agree. I said the dollar's kind of like, yeah, it's at support with a sort of a double low. It's just that the price action in here hasn't been too convincing. But like I said, we got earnings this week, we got GDP this week, we got PCE this week, we have a shitload of macro shit. And the macro affects the dollar. You know, it is what it is. So we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see. I think we're back into like that stupid. I hate this. I can't wait I can't wait until we don't care about all this shit anymore. Like from like 2010 to like 2020, where we didn't give a shit about this shit. You know, but you know. Unfortunately, I think we might be in that market where like the market now cares again about this macro shit. We had a nice 3-month run of like the market, bad CPI, FOMC meeting, market keeps bumping. But now it seems like everyone's getting scared again. Everyone's kind of shitting their pants again because you got the recession. The recession's coming, man. Everyone's kind of shitting their pants. Let's see. I want 30K interactive. Me too, man. I'll take that all day. All freaking day. Mr. Hart said, I have a feeling we V-bottom. It's going to be a quick bounce. Yeah, I agree. I think if we do this, I think we get a quick bounce back up. It's kind of similar to this one, where you basically smash these lows and then you get a quick bounce back up, right? So I'm looking at this a similar way, right? Where this is the low. You smash these lows and then we come back up, just like here, right? We have these lows, smash these lows, come back up. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now, right? I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. We're all dead wrong sometimes, guys. We're all a bunch of plebs sitting here looking at the charts. Let's see. Must have been nice trading in an easy market, literally learning in the worst market conditions. Facts, Mr. Hart. Very, very true. Spectre said, I thought we were in a recession already. Well, you could argue we already had one last year. You know, you could argue that we were pretty close to having one last year, right? Like we were like a few percentage points off from having a technical recession, which is a human-made indicator based off of, you know, numbers that we make up as humans, right? But like, I don't know. We'll find out, right? Let's see. Would you say we get a peak with BTC to the 618 fib in June? Yeah, June, man. I wouldn't rule it out, right? I think once again, the market's in that panic mode. Again, you know, it's in that super panic mode, you know, and just like we saw right here where it seemed like everything was dead, right? We dropped to 19K. It seemed like everything was dead. And then within a span of 2 weeks, Bitcoin got a move up of about 42%, right? So right now you're kind of in that thought process like Bitcoin's dead, it's over, right? So if Bitcoin does get a move to 24K, say if we saw a similar thing, right? Bitcoin pumped 46% in 2 weeks, that would put you up to like 35K, right? In a few weeks. Not gonna say that that's gonna happen, but we've seen it before, where Bitcoin dumps for 2 weeks, looks like it's horrendous, and then it pumps 46%. That would put you up at like 36K, which is interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Luquan said, "Don't know why you always ignore me." Oh, I don't ignore you, man. I try to look at everyone in the chat. You know. Guess you're your only follower from Pakistan. Welcome from Pakistan, man. Thanks for hanging out on Sunday. And yeah, we're just kind of chilling today, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a stream here, guys. Like I said, the Celtics coming up at 7 p.m. I gotta get ready for that, cook some food for that, and I'll be on my merry way. So I'm gonna cut it pretty short today. Hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday. You know, let's see what this next week brings us, guys. It should be an interesting week. I say don't be surprised that if there's more red. I think you got to be prepared for that. You know, we can't have the Moon Boy goggles all the time and just want this. You know, as fun as it is. You know, I definitely would see, you know, if shit hits the fan this week, I could definitely see you coming down here, you know. It's just that point. I want to see that real fear in the market. I don't think I've ever seen that yet, right? As yesterday, again, the fear and greed, bro, is back at 56, back into greed, you know? You can't make this shit up. So I want to see this flip into some fear. When this flips into some fear, I'll be a little bit more confident at the market just freaking like bouncing back really heavy, right? And I do think a move down here, right? Whether it's this and then this, I do think a move down here would bring some serious fear into the market, right? We might not be there yet, though. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Peace. Let's see how the DXY, the stock markets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcoins do next week, as we have a pretty big week macro-wise this week with everything going down. All right? Peace out. See you guys tomorrow. Members tomorrow at 8:30. And everyone else, I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. tomorrow as we talk about what happens on Monday, baby. Let's freaking go. Peace. I'm out. Peace out, Kryptone. Go Celtics, baby. Go friggin' Celtics. Let's go. Let's go. See ya.